He leaned in as if he were telling me where bodies were buried. His hand gripped my arm, heavy, calloused, the grip of a man who had spent his life pulling people out of wreckage and shoving others into cuffs. "Get your children and leave this house," he whispered. The retired cop's eyes were not curious, they were haunted. He pressed a smoke-stained folder into my hand, the kind that smelled of old fire and older secrets. My wife turned from the fireplace, smiling at us. She was framed by the glow, the warmth dancing against her face like she had always belonged there. The neighbor's eyes darted to her, then back to me. He didn't speak again. When I opened the report, the first line carved itself into my mind like glass across flesh. And in that moment, I didn't think. I didn't breathe. I grabbed my children. We walked out the door without shoes, without coats, without looking back. I knew then my life had been built on someone else's lie. The motel room stank of mold and stale coffee, but it was safe, or safer than home. My children huddled on the bed, confused. I told them it was a game, midnight adventure. Their mother would join us soon. Lies to keep them calm while my insides rotted. I sat at the small desk with the folder open. Her name wasn't hers, not originally. She had been someone else before she met me. An arson investigation. 2 children dead. A husband who never walked out of the flames. She had walked away without a scratch. And then, she had disappeared. The words blurred, but the photographs were merciless. A woman in shadows. The same face I'd kissed goodnight for a decade. Denial clawed at me. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe this was a mistake. But the dates lined up, the move, the new identity, the absence of any past she ever shared. My wife hadn't just lied, she had erased. And I had built my world on ashes. I didn't confront her, not yet. That would have been too human, too impulsive. Instead, I studied. I traced the timeline, every address, every change of name. I bought prepaid phones and called old county offices. I listened as clerks dug reluctantly through files they weren't supposed to keep. Patterns emerged: fires, accidents, houses reduced to skeletons of wood and smoke. Each time she moved on, a new identity grew like mold over the wreckage. And then she found me, the perfect mark. A man with enough money to support her, but not enough influence to question her. A man with children already, ready to believe she was their salvation. I began to notice details I had ignored. The way she always checked the smoke alarms herself, as if looking for more than batteries. The way she never spoke of her childhood, only smiled thinly and said, "That was another life." I started searching the house while she was out, behind picture frames, in boxes labeled with false dates. And I found what I wasn't supposed to: a set of passports, different names, different lives. Each one her face, shifting like smoke. The woman by the fireplace wasn't my wife. She was a fire that had been waiting to consume. I went back to the retired cop. He didn't look surprised when I knocked at his door after midnight. He had been waiting. "You saw it," he said. "Not a question." I nodded. He poured 2 glasses of whiskey. His hands shook. I couldn't put her away. The evidence, it vanished. Witnesses turned, files burned. But I never forgot her face. Neither would I. He slid another folder across the table, thicker, darker. The things she had left behind. Insurance policies, deposits that appeared right before the fires. A cycle of survival built on destruction. I asked the question already bleeding inside me. "Why me?" He sighed. "She needed stability, children, a mask of normalcy. You gave her that, but she'll burn it down too. She always does." The truth was complete, and it was colder than the night around us. I didn't storm back into the house. That would have given her control. Instead, I returned calmly. Children asleep in the car. Her waiting in the living room, wine in hand, smile rehearsed. She asked where I had gone. I didn't answer. I laid the folder on the table. Her eyes flicked down. Just once, and that was enough. Her smile cracked, then died completely. For the first time in our marriage, she looked afraid. "I know," I said. 2 words, nothing more. Her lips parted, ready to deny, to twist, to seduce her way out of it. But she saw something in my eyes, something that warned her silence was safer. I picked up the folder and walked past her. I didn't shout, I didn't accuse, I didn't break. I left her sitting in the glow of the fire she loved so much, knowing the flames were already catching up to her. The children slept as I drove, their breaths shallow, innocent. They didn't know the truth, not yet, maybe never. I glanced at them in the rearview mirror. They were safe. That was all that mattered. As for her, she would remain in that house, surrounded by lies she could no longer control. The past had caught her, and it wore my face when it did. I felt no sorrow, no rage left to burn, only clarity. Some people build lives, some destroy them, and some of us learn, too late, which kind we've been sleeping beside. I tightened my grip on the wheel, the night swallowing the road ahead. I wasn't running, I was finished. Because the cruelest revenge isn't fire, it's leaving someone to choke on their own smoke.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.